Hi, welcome to Matt's Garage. The shop is a total disaster. I've got parts everywhere, but the reason it's a disaster is because I wanted to tear into a new motor I got, new to me. I was struggling finding a decent 5.0 with low miles. Phil from Tom's Bronco Parts. Phil, thank you so much. He's International Junkie on Instagram, by the way. Great guy, so knowledgeable about Broncos. You can call. He gets paid to talk to you about your Bronco, so just give him a call. Anyway, he found me a listing down in Stevenson, Washington, which is in the Columbia River Gorge. So beautiful down there. Anyway, it was like a 92 Lincoln Mark 7 with the 5.0. So had 115,000 miles supposedly. I got it, I pulled it out on a very rainy day. Like, just imagine pulling a motor outside in the rain all day. And I got it back here, and I've had it for about a week, and I was like, I gotta get into this thing. What if it's the same condition as the one that came in the Bronco? Now, I did hear it run, and it sounded pretty good, but one of the cylinders had some oil on it, so I wasn't sure if I was getting the old internet job, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna bring you in close and show you these cylinder walls, and we'll talk about it. Then I got some other things to talk to you about too. At first glance, here are my observations. There's some carbon buildup on all the cylinders, but it's not like terrible. You can still see some metal. The crosshatch is present in all of the cylinders, like clean crosshatching, no vertical scoring. Focus, see that? There's no vertical scoring anywhere and clean crosshatching all around. It spins freely, it looks pretty good. It doesn't look as caked on gummy as the one that came in the Bronco. The driver's side is where there was oil on the number 4 cylinder, and you can actually see some oil pooled up in the valve reliefs. Like this side just seems like it was running richer, and I don't know if that's a intake thing or what. I don't think it's the rings. I thought maybe it was the seals. I'm going to bring you down and show you the head. You can see you can see how the intakes on the 1, 2, and 3 cylinders are sort of pale. I don't know what color you'd call that, beige. And then this one is actually more fouled, the number 4. And that's the one that had the darker spark plug. I thought maybe it might be valve seals, but I'm not sure. I'm not a 5.0 guy, so if you guys have an opinion on that or tell me what to look for, I'd be happy to look for it. Okay, what's the plan for the engine? This is not an Explorer, 96 Explorer GT40 motor, but it is a 5.0 roller. So that's basically all I need. A good running 5.0 would be plenty of power for this Bronco. I'm gonna take this front cover off and put on the Explorer front dress, which is shorter, more compact, and the serpentine setup on these early 90s Mark 7s is just a disaster. It's got the smog pump, the AC, a 1,000,000-mile long serpentine belt. Don't need it. I talked to Phil a lot about reusing the stock fuel injection, and he almost convinced me to go that way. But there's a couple things. One, I didn't grab the ECM from the Lincoln. It wasn't automatic, so I didn't even know if I could use it. But to get the manual ECMs, they cost like $500 now. Like almost as much as just getting a Megasquirt where you have full programming. And then you need like $700 for the harness from Tom's Off-Road. And so you're in at like $1,300. And I think if you have the ECU, I think that just getting the harness and doing a standalone is probably a good idea. I think I can't bring myself to pull the trigger on like $1,300 or $1,400 to retain the factory fuel injection when I already have a carburetor that's on the Scout. Like I already have the fuel regulator. I think I'm just gonna stick with carbureted for now. I can always swap it out later. So if anybody in Washington wants the intake manifold off of the 5.0, let me know. I have it. I'd easily part with it. Otherwise, I'll probably just wash it down and keep it in storage for a while. The heads, I was thinking about swapping over the GT40 heads off the Explorer, But the thing is, this obviously is a low mileage motor in great shape. So I think I'm just gonna reuse the heads. It doesn't look like it was overly abused. Just gonna have to clean it up, clean out the top of the pistons just for my OCD-ness, and then, yeah, just do new head gasket seals and gaskets all around, clean it. I might redo the rear main seal, which means taking everything apart since I have it out already. Let's just take a look at it actually. Yeah, no, that's the pan. Rear main seal looks good, so I'm probably not gonna do that actually. I'm probably just gonna do the gaskets, head gaskets and regular gaskets. Just leave the bottom end alone. So that's all good news on the motor front. I also grabbed the AOD out of that car. I don't want it. I've got big news on that too. I ordered an AX15. So I got the kit from Tom's Off-Road. You'll see more about the kit in future episodes, but with the cross member and the clutch and all that stuff, I don't have a bell housing, so they're getting me a bell housing from Supercell. So whoever sold your bell housing to Tom's Off-Road at Super Celebration in the future, in 2 weeks, thank you. Okay, it's gonna end up on my Bronco. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with my Explorer 5.0. If somebody's in Washington and interested in that, let me know. But what I need to do is clean up this disaster. And then I'm gonna clean up the motor and then just put it in storage for a little while I keep working on the body. You saw I finished the floor pans. I have a couple more rust spots, and then I'm gonna do the wheel wells. And then I'm gonna basically go into the tub side, clean out all the seams so it's ready for seam sealer, and then crawl underneath and take all the undercoating off by hand with a needler. That's gonna be a nightmare. So what I'll do is one of you guys asked me, how do you do a frame off restoration? Well, there's really like many levels of restoration, right? There's the spray and hide. Some guys go for replacing entire panels, some guys patch. But if you're gonna do a frame off restoration, there's really a couple ways to do it. One is you can put the body up on standoff. So you get like 4-inch long or 6-inch long like pipe, and you jack the body up like a body lift, but like 6 inches, and you do like 6-inch spacers all along all the body mount frames, get the body up off of it, and then work underneath it, spray it, and then put it back down. That's probably the lowest level of frame off restoration. Another way you can do it is the way I did it with the Scout, which is to pull the body off, and then basically I built a contraption that tilted it up, and that way I could work underneath very easily, and that actually turned out pretty good. Not rotisserie level, but pretty good. Then there's body carts, which is sort of in the middle of those. Then there's a rotisserie, which is great because you get comfortable working position in all the places. You can get better access, you don't miss any spots. It's definitely the luxury way to do a frame off restoration. But if you don't have a rotisserie, I mean, you're spending like $2-3 grand on it when all is said and done. Not to mention with the Broncos, you have to like spend the money on the steel members to go, because you can't attach to the core support. You have to go all the way to the second set of body mounts under the footwells, because there's just no structure in the core support. So those are sort of the options. I'm kind of leaning towards the standoff because I'm not going to, sorry, let me back up. I'm gonna do the standoff, clean up the bottom, coat it, then I'm gonna actually take the body off and put it down, clean up the frame, take the body and put it back on top. So basically I'm using the frame as a body cart until then I take the body off, do the frame, put the body back on, then we're off to the races. Then the underneath is done. And then while the body's off, I'll put the drivetrain in and everything so I don't have to mess with it from underneath. That's the plan for the build. But man, I got a lot of work and I got an incredible amount of cleanup to do. So again, AOD transmissions available, 5.0. Neither of these engines, the new one nor the Explorer one, have been bored out. They're both 4-inch cylinder bores, so they're perfect candidates for a rebuild. And then I've just been going around pulling out broken screws and nuts and all that stuff. Oh man, all right, back to work. See you next time on Matt's Garage.